And happy Thanksgiving weekend for those of you celebrating here in Canada. I know if you're in the United States, you're like, Thanksgiving? That's not yet, but it is here for us as Canadians celebrate it this weekend. I'm sure a lot of people watching today from home with the smell of turkey in the air. That's a lovely, lovely smell. And getting together with friends and family over the next couple of days. We have 11 races in store for you this afternoon, and we have heard that the sun is going to join us at approximately 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's a busy day here in Toronto for us, not only with the 11 races, but the Blue Jays play tonight, Jeff.
That is true. Going to be a busy couple of days. And, it's an exciting time of the year because we have Breeders' Cup right around the corner as well. You've obviously got some marquee races for the 2-year-olds coming up a little bit later on in the program. Now, unfortunately, we did have an incident yesterday on the program. The good news is a couple of the riders are okay. One, I think, is just taking some time off to recover from bumps and bruises, and that's Austin Adams.
Well, it sounds to me like he's got some deep bruising in his back, and so they are going to take today off. They'll take tomorrow off as well because he does need to see a specialist. And he's a young guy, so, he will bounce back. Yeah. But it was a scary incident yesterday. For those of you who wanted to know about the horses as well, I think a lot of them are going to be a little stiff and sore this morning, but everybody came out of it and in good order. So that's some good news there. 2 stakes races on today's program, the Display and the Glorious Song, both these races for 2-year-olds, one for the boys, one for the girls. So we'll see a little bit of stakes action. And yesterday, an interesting day, Jeff. I heard a guy when I was walking in, you hear people, they kind of braggadocious about, how many selections they had that won. And I knew this was complete bull when I heard this guy say, I had 7 winners yesterday and I didn't make any money.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. Impossible. Because the horses that won yesterday all paid good money, with the exception of maybe a couple of them. We had some big price winners on the program. One of the biggest price being snookered at $29 for Kathy Ranford. Super Sunday for Pozzanelli at $19.90. I mean, we had some big prices yesterday.
And what was the golden theme again? The Golden Rail. And again, 7 of the 9 winners on the program for the most part were on the fence. Even some of the outside horses did spend some time on the inside as well. But that inside path has continued to be a thing of victory. And I think when we get to the recap of the Ontario Fashion, I think for Raffy, he was so happy with his position with that horse. In fact, both horses that won stake races, guess what post position they had? Post position number 1.
Absolutely. So let's take a look back at the Ontario Damsel first. This was actually a surprise win, and that was the theme yesterday, a lot of surprise winners. Shotgun Wedding returning $16.60 for James Begg and Cavey Nichols. That was a fun winner's circle, too, with the twins in the winner's circle as well. You didn't take a baby home.
I did not.
That was one of the prizes, I think. But Shotgun Wedding getting a nice win.
Yeah, that was great. And just an improving type, too, and nice to see Kevin. Kevin's had a really strong year. I was looking at his stats just the other day. So far this season, he's now at 28 victories, which is a really strong campaign for him. Nice to see No Time bounce back with a better performance as well. And then it was the other Clermont horse that was able to pull off the victory in the Ontario Fashion Stakes.
Yeah, Lorraine, I think this horse ended up going off at around 4-1. And I like the trip for this filly, too. They kind of had her covered up. And I noticed, too, and it's just me taking a guess on horse sense here. When she came back with the pony, she was a little snarly. And I thought, you know what, that's probably the perfect trip for a filly like that. You get her a little PO'd, and then she takes off with a big, huge effort here under Rafael Hernandez. And Hernandez had a great day yesterday. He won 3 on the program. He's won a number of stakes, the most stakes races so far this year.
102 victories overall for him. Pietro right now is in second at 96. And yeah, in terms of stake wins, look at the overall tally for that. So now for Raffy, he is now at 17 stake wins.
That's pretty awesome.
That is phenomenal. And you know what? When it comes to Sovereign Award voting at the end of the year, that's a big, big deal. So. He's kind of in the driver's seat right now when it comes to being champion rider at the end of the season.
Well, Raffy had the late double on yesterday's program. The winner that he had in the last race was significant because Maximum 50 became the first 5-time winner at the meet and went back home to Bob Tiller's barn.
That is really cool. Really cool. What a year that horse has had to roll off 5 wins. And it's not like this is a horse that's been, facing low-end claimers. He's facing some pretty hard-knocking 32,000 claimers. And every time, same style. Right to the front. You want to go? You have to go with me.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's funny? Our clocker Ernie Perry said that the last race on the program was the most competitive race,
it was not.
And it wasn't.
There were some that ran terrible in that race.
There sure was. There was a lot of disappointing efforts, I thought, in that race because it looked like it was going to be a fun one, but in the end, Maximum 50 was just much the best. Speaking of our clocker, Ernie Perry, what did he catch this morning? Well, of course, the inside, the best place to be. But 3 out of 5 is how he listed the track this morning. It's pretty cool now. I'm hoping, again, that the sun is going to join us, and then that could change things when the sunshine hits this racetrack. But Lac Macasa had the work of the day. This horse was claimed back by Julia Carey, who had lost this one, I'd say a couple of months ago, claimed the horse back and had a really nice move.
I wonder if they're thinking maybe a race like the Valedictory for that horse, because that one won the Niagara, I think, last year, if memory serves me correct, and is a bit of a long-distance type of horse, and claimed the horse back for some decent money, too. And let's face it, Lac Macasa has done his best things for Julia Carey, and so she claims the horse back, which is kind of a cool thing to see, and we want to wish everybody the best of luck when it comes to that horse. Unfortunately, on today's program, there's quite a few scratches, which caught me a little bit off guard. One of our two-year races of the stakes variety fell apart a little bit, but I don't know if there's some other issues with some sickness maybe going on this time of the season. But
it's a 50-50. It's kind of a lot of stews and quite a few vets on today's program as well. One of those in the stake is a stew scratch, and I can understand that one.
The quick comeback.
The quick comeback on that particular horse. All right, let's get started with the handicapping. Race number 1 on today's card is where we're going to go first. It's an optional 40 going 3/4 of a mile with a field of 7. Now, we know Rafi's had the hot hand, especially yesterday with the 3 stakes wins, and you and I always feel good when we see Rafael Hernandez riding for Dale DeRusso. But he is not going to ride Rarefied. Instead, he's going to stick with the 1, Wozniacki, who goes out for Tino Attard and exits a couple of stakes races.
Now, the Rondo Bay does not have a great recommendation with Take My Bourbon Neats, who I think only beat 1 horse yesterday here. But that was on dirt, and Wozniacki gets back over to, I think, what is probably going to be a preferred surface, that being the main track. She gets a beautiful post position here today, post position number 1. Again, equipment changes, the blinkers are going to come off. The only negative is the price. This horse is going to take a ton of action in here. And right now it's on the board at odds of 4 to 5. And I kind of looked up and down trying to find, okay, can I try and beat this horse? When my backup option here is the 6, coming off a long layoff, I think I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good about the 1. Your backup option is the 4, this being YMCA. I would love to know the story as to why we haven't seen her more.
I know. There's got to be something up. Now, last year she did compete 8 times, but the reason I used her, Jeff, is because she has put up some fast clockings. Now, they're always on the training track, and they stick with the training track with her. So they try to stay away from it for works, but most recently she worked in 47 and 2. So I'll give her the green light here. Fresh legs this time of the season, and you see her in for the $40,000 price tag. She seems like a horse you might be able to get at a little bit of a price, maybe over the 1. I did toss in the 3-horse Rarefied as well. This was one that Dale DeRusso had collared for $40,000. Nice horse. I just kind of think that turf might be more her
Possibly,
thing.
and I think she got a little bit caught napping last time out, this horse, because Forrester's Exec made this big move, and then Rarefied had to eventually swing towards the outside and got ruined a little bit too late. But I think legit she is a 40,000 claimer all day long. This is her category. But you're right, she might be a little bit better on the turf. That's a possibility.
All righty, let's go to our second topic of the day. That comes up as the rail trip. And the rail just has been the greatest place to be here in Toronto as of late. Race number 4, I shouldn't say as of late, all year, essentially. Race number 4 is where we kick off the pick 4. It's a maiden optional $40,000 claiming event going 5.5 furlongs. There are some interesting firsters in here. We do scratch the 7. Fly True North will not go. But when you start looking up some of these pedigrees, it gets a little interesting. For example, on the 6-horse, Grey D1. The mare on this horse is actually a sister to Risk Averse. Can you believe that?
Yeah, millionaire.
I mean, that's a $2.1 million earner. That's very interesting. And she's been a big producer, 12 foals. This is the 12th foal that she's had. But I think we're all kind of interested to see what happens with the 3 Silent Ballerina from the Harold Laddister outfit.
Yeah, so she's a half-to-horse named E.B. Zoom Baby, who was a 3-time winner, but obviously a silent name. You know, that's probably one of the most respected stallions in Ontario. The mare only won once in her career, and that came in a mile. And you know what? When you think of Harold, I don't necessarily think of him with first-time starters, but there's a couple of things that I really like about this horse. First of all, the rider. You get Hernandez aboard, and look at the works. They're kind of above average. You know, I don't really consider Harold as a guy that works horse extremely fast getting ready. and especially the last work in 59-4 getting ready for this engagement here today. So I just thought, like Daddy's Secret might be beatable. We'll take a look at Daddy's Secret most recent race. It came on September the 20th and lost to Splash of Bourbon, who was a sit horse that both you and I liked on that day that Ryan Munger rode. But right now we have a lot of work to do here with Daddy's Secret. Now this was at 5, we're going to go 5.5 in here. But you're on the best part of the racetrack, as Lisa spoke of. You're on that rail for the entire time. And, it can often be an intimidating spot for a 2-year-old, but then you put into the fact that more often than not leads to winners. That's a bit of a positive sign. But what I like is the horse just keeps coming. Only to lose this race by a length and eventually splits horses. And look how much the horse improved, Lisa, from that first start to the second. So it's almost like the old light bulb probably went off after that first start. Oh, I know my job now. So if for some reason the 3 does go down defeat, it could possibly be at the hands of the 1. And then you have Divinely Inspired on the outside, who drops in to face these 40,000 claimers for Conditioner Mark Hasse. Has been protected her entire career until now.
Yeah, I took a look at her too, but I was wondering if maybe Sands Dancer could be a one to toss in the 2. I see you toss that one in as well, because really this horse comes out of the same race as Daddy's Secret. But Pietro's been kind of quiet.
Yes.
As of late.
Only one winner this week so far.
Yeah, that's a quiet week for him. So we'll watch for that. But yeah, some first-time starters here in race number 4 on the program. I was shocked when I looked up this Grady 1 and saw the risk averse.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, mind blown.
And you know what, too? Like, she's produced a lot of horses we know around these parts.
Right.
Jill, April Develop, Alta Calibre.
Yeah.
Like, we know all these, and they're all winners.
And they're all winners. Yeah, exactly. So that's some good things there. So race number 4, we kick off the early pick 4 for you as we flip over to our next topic, which comes up in race number 6, that being a pick 6 party. And I'm sure a lot of people will be having a party today, maybe some celebrating Friendsgiving, maybe some celebrating Thanksgiving with a party here this afternoon. But race number 6 is where we kick off the Jackpot Power Pick 6. It's a $25,000 claimer, non-winners of 3 life, and party. Now, Jeff and I are not going to give you, we're not going to tell you in advance what we're doing for Halloween. Just know that Party On could be the clue. But Party On drops here from 40 in for $25,000 today.
That is true, and that's kind of the theme with Kevin. He's dropping a few horses on the card today, and Party On last 1 for 40, now went for 25,000. So I kind of find that to be a bit of an interesting maneuver. They're obviously being very aggressive. One horse that you and I have been chasing a lot this season has been Stealing Time. I'm kind of excited to get her back on the main track myself. The last race was obviously very good, winning against Prima. But I just think on the main track might be a little bit better. I think it's probably one of those 2 horses, I would think. Would you toss in? I don't want to ruin our pick 4 ticket entirely in here, but is there anybody that scares you in this race? Like I see you've got Catch the Drift.
Yeah, I think it's the right price tag. That's the only reason I kept her here. I like her for this tag. I tossed the 6 horse Zippy Gamble in only because she's exiting stakes events for Kevin, and I think you're right. I think Kevin's we've noticed this in the last little bit, Barnes starting to clean house, and this is one of them. Now, if everything lines up, if Party On, wins, loses, whatever, I hope there's a race for this horse on October 31st.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
So that's your hint. That's your hint. But race number 6, where we kick off the Jackpot Power Pick 6 on the afternoon. Don't forget, there are 11 races on today's program. Let's go to our next topic, which is the first of 2 stakes events, and that comes up as race number 8 on the card, the display stakes for the boys. And, like I said, the race kind of came apart a little thanks to some scratches. I understand the 3 horse being scratched out of this race because that was a quick comeback for a 2-year-old. He just won on October the 5th, so I totally get that. Lennox the Grey is a vet scratch from this race. And then there's a very interesting first-time starter that Kevin's going to send out here. We don't know how to say this horse's name. You're going to ask Kevin how to. But this is a good magic, obviously. But when you go back and you look at the pedigree on this one, and we mentioned this on the show yesterday, the third dam is Dan Smartly.
Yeah, you went way back. And what I looked at was the auction purchases. This horse went through 3 different sales, and the last sale the horse went with was an R&A for $350,000. So they obviously like what they've got right now, and Pietro's going to guide. And let's face it, they've found a field now with a couple of scratches. It's a small field. They look like geniuses now instead of going into a main special weight race. They might be able to break their maiden in here. Now, one that you and I have been following very closely is Jupiter. Now, the reason why, it's kind of twofold. First of all, we were kind of tipped off early on this horse had some talent. Then ran against a horse that Elisa's parents bred, that being Awesome Connection and Beat Awesome Connection. Second time out was in the Victoria. I didn't think I had a great trip.
No, and I think a lot of people would agree with a different trip this horse could have won this
Yeah,
stakes.
it could have beat Casson. Look at when we're checking. We have because Cassan's up front just doing everything so easily, no traffic trouble. Now we kind of split horses in here, and now where do we go? Do we duck towards the inside, or do we float towards the outside? I think that delay cost the horse a little bit, and now we get to swing to the outside, and now Jupiter is eventually going to finish in the second place position. I feel a little bit bad for this poor horse for a couple of different reasons.
I know one of them.
First of all, some bad racing luck, and they galloped this horse very early on in his
didn't waste
career
any
as well.
time.
They wasted no time. Then he goes into the Soaring Free. He finishes fifth. They scratch him out of the Summer Stakes. Poor Jupiter, he doesn't know whether he's racing, not racing, whether he's a stud or a gelding. He's kind of all over the place.
And who's on his back, too.
Yeah, that's another great point. As now all of a sudden Fraser Apley takes over in here. So Cassie's got time frame as well. We've spoken about the first-time starter, Navy Streets. Not a bad run first time out. In fact, we've seen the horse come out of that race and win already too. So I'm going to kind of land on Jupiter in here, but this is a real strategy race. And you know what? For a 2-year-old race, I'm just looking at it right now. Who's the speed going to be? Maybe the first timer might just try to go right to the front.
It's hard to say.
Every call a winning one.
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, I wonder if the inside horse Navy Street might show a little bit early zip. This horse was a nice winner against Maidens for 40. These Jimmy Creeds are kind of known to be fast horses, but I guess the thing is that No Covenant or My Covenant won yesterday, but I think that was for 25,000, right?
Yeah.
So the third place finisher came back to win for a quarter and did it quite easily, by the way, but still, there's your reference there. So that's the first stakes event, the display. The Glorious Song is the second stakes event. This one's for the 2-year-old fillies. And, we'll go 7/8. It's all about the one horse here today for a lot of us, that being Piper's Gift, the Dale DeRusso horse for Chiefswood Stables. We talked about this, quite a bit, that Chiefswood has been really generous. They've given out horses to all sorts of different trainers. Ron Sadler comes to mind. Dale DeRusso comes to mind. Vasilieva, of course. There's all sorts of people who have Chiefswood horses, and this is a nice one for Dale. Now, Dale has had a fantastic stakes season. We've seen him in the winner's circle on numerous occasions. His 2-year-olds have done very good, too.
Now, obviously, this horse got a great trip on this day. We're kind of sitting in that pocket type of position, to use a harness term in here, but just watch how powerful this horse is late in this race. Wins so nicely by about 8 lengths. And I'm really cheering for this horse for a variety of different reasons. First of all, because I'd like to see a really nice look in. I would love to see Dale potentially have like a plate type of horse on his resume. And we already know he's got a nice filly. And that one won the Cup and Saucer. And now he could have another nice filly in here in Piper's Gift as well. So they just geared down here in this race. Just a lovely, lovely performance. And he get a beautiful draw here today, post position number 1 as well. So if she repeats that last race, that's all she has to do.
Yeah.
And she wins.
I was just thinking, he's got Dixie Law, of course, he's got this horse. He's got an embarrassment of riches when it comes to 2-year-olds, like so many nice young horses in his barn. Now, take a look again at some pedigree on some of these horses. This first-time starter that Kevin sends out, Ada Claire, she's by Quality Road. They didn't pay a ton of money for her, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's $25,000, and he's a pretty expensive stud fee. But the dam on this one is a half-sister to Vekoma.
And yet she only sold for 25.
I know.
Now, I'm trying to figure it out. Was that before Vekoma was established? I don't know.
It was last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Vekomas were hot last year.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm just wondering, sometimes, like I said, we've talked about this before. You go to the repository to buy these horses. Maybe they got a bad scope. Maybe they got some little chips and things that need to be sorted out. Who knows? But it's enough to maybe turn a few people away, give you that low price, and some people can take them, do the work, and get him to the races, obviously. And this one, he must think pretty highly of to debut in a stakes event.
Yeah, and Kevin's not afraid to debut horse in stake races. There was a horse by the name of Moira who debuted in a stake race that turned out to be pretty good, I hear.
Did she? Yeah. All right. Yeah, pretty cool. So race number 9 will be the second of 2 stakes events as we go to the 10th. Now, the 10th goes 3/4. It's an optional 32. 10th race kicks off the late double because, a reminder, there are 11 races. Now, yesterday on the program, we saw, hold on, I just got to take a look at my notes here. Tequila Supernova for Bob Tiller just stroll along with a beautiful win under Rafael Hernandez. Now, Sofia Vivez, we've talked about this, she's out. She has a broken pelvis. And that is an injury that'll take you out of the game for quite some time. So we don't know a return date on her at all. But Go-Kart Mozart is a horse that she has had a lot of fun with this season. They've won numerous stakes events. And today we got a new pilot. It is Pietro Moran who gets the ride here today for Hall of Famer Bob Tiller. And shockingly, Pietro has only ridden less than 5 horses for Bob Tiller.
Yeah, crazy. And you know what? For Go-Kart Mozart, because she's won so many stake races, she doesn't have a lot of conditions left, but she does have this non-one other than, which is terrific, or he, I should say. The problem is with him is that his speed figures are not quite fast enough to be competitive against these, and he's kind of stuck. Because I think the only other option is if they stay in the Heritage Series is to go around 2 turns, because I think that's the next one in the Heritage Series.
Yeah.
So I don't think they really want to go 2 turns in here. So I love how game the horse has been, has handled. I mean, not too many horses can say in Ontario this season they won on synthetic, they won on turf, and they won on dirt.
Yeah, versatile.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to use him on top. I'm crazy, but
I
just think he's super cool.
You're going to get a price.
Yeah, too. I mean, he's just, I get he's a 3-year-old taking on older horses, but he's a horse coming in with tons of confidence. You went to the one, that being Gilt Edge. Hey, this horse has been a nice little claim this season.
Rail. That's why. I do, in good form, and I get the rail. Good enough for me right now at Woodbine. That's where I'm going to go in this one's direction. Yeah, I'm going to go towards Gilt Edge. I went 1-6. Pine Knoll gets claimed back by Drexler in there. Does anybody claim more back and forth than Drexler and Willie Theranos?
No.
They take off each other all
sorry.
the time.
There's one other person that likes to take old horses
Don
back.
McRae. Yeah. And then you got Tasman. You know, Tasman's obviously really good. I don't know if the horse really wants to go 2 turns. Remember last time, kind of blew the first turn on the inside.
Yeah, but he did it.
And still got the win.
Yeah, so. Now he gets the cut back to 3/4.
Sleigh rides 2 today. He's going to be a tired camper at the end of the day.
Good for them. They've had such a great season yet again from limited stock, right? Limited stock, but they're all in the right spot, and that's why she's clicking at a. Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on. Is that 40 or 48?
It's 4-0.
4-0. Wow, 40% win average. So that's the 10th race where we kick off the late double. We still need to talk about race number 11, which is an awful race. I mean, awful. Okay, and I say that for a number of reasons. These are maidens for 75. This is never easy. Maidens for 75. But Jeff, there's only one horse in my mind on paper that actually looks like it wants to be a racehorse, and that's Jinx Me. Other than that, a lot of these horses have to wake up and try today.
I thought She's So Croatian ran well last time when finishing 3rd. And against Libre.
That's one. Now try and pick 3 others to help yourself out for the jackpot.
Well, you know, like M.
High-Five.
Shamas was obviously disappointing last time out. Did not run very well by any means. Amis Cry, I think, is not bad, but I kind of buy what you're selling in here. Listen, it's a field. That's why they're in for 7,500, right? I mean, they've just not been able to show all that much at this point.
But nothing. Some of these horses have shown nothing.
And not just that. Look at us. Like, we're focusing on the 9 and 11. How many horses as of later running from post 9 and post 11?
That's true. That's true. Except, like, say, they're the only 2 that seem to have like a slight interest in playing. Doug McPherson has used the 3-horse up on top, that being Sorry I Missed You. Now, Kirk Johnson, great guy. Wife makes beautiful, wonderful banana bread. But, you know, I just can't see it. Even with the blinkers going on for a hot barn. One thing we do like about Devin is he gives everybody a shot.
100%. And it comes sort of not a bad race. I mean, that 3rd place finisher came back to win Ecliptical Ladybug. But with the blinkers on, we got to get more involved for that horse to be a factor. It just hasn't shown us a lot of speed.
It's a tough one. If you can get the jackpot high-five for the last race, which, by the way, starts at 0 because somebody got it yesterday.
Yeah, here at Woodbine.
Yeah, here at Woodbine, which is even better. I would strongly suggest, you know, the, what's that called again? Help me out here, Jeff. Quick Picks. Just hit Quick Picks, or put the 11 on top and then just play around with everything else underneath. Or is it the 11 that we like on top? No, the 9.
I gotta look up what that ticket paid yesterday because it was sent to me. I want to tell you how much it was. Here it was here. 43,000 bucks. Paid, yeah.
On a $24 ticket, Mike's telling me?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so, and bought on track. Could you imagine coming to Woodbine and leaving with 43 Gs? Like, what would you do? Would you say, okay, give me 40 and check and 3,000 in cash?
I don't know.
Like,
look, there's that, but look, there are days when we hit the pick 4, and I'm happy that I walk out the door with 40 bucks.
Yeah, I know.
All right?
Awesome.
So 43 Gs, that's
In all seriousness, though,
Yeah.
I don't mind your quick pick strategy because it's probably better than buying a lottery ticket.
I think so. They used to do this to us at Fort Erie all the time. Make the last race on the program where we used to have, a jackpot high five.
Yeah.
They used to make it maidens for 5 on the
Oof.
grass.
Tough.
God, it was really, I used to call them phone book races, and that's exactly kind of what today's is too. All right, so that gets us through the races for the afternoon. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk about our plays of the day. We have 3 clocker horses to pass along your way as well.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
This is the biggest race in the world. Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming.
They're all business Dubai World Cup.
And they're into the stretch. 2 of the great racehorses in the world. Giant Killer, by name and by nature. A race for the ages.
Plays of the day to pass along your way as we start first with Jeff's top selections, and you got one in the opener.
Yeah, Wozniacki is my bounce back prospect. We're going to get to some other plays of the day, and this is a very popular horse today. We're kind of mushing poor Wozniacki today. My best bet's going to be Napa Spirit, just so good right now. I'll put Silent Ballerina as my debut threat to my multi-leg single. If I'm playing the late pick 5 or the late pick 4, I'm going to get out my old gold shiny key and key in on Piper's Gift.
All right, I have Silent Ballerina on my list too as an interesting first-time starter for race number 4 on the card. I think Bullet needed a race, should come back fitter and tougher here today. I got Piper's Gift, same as you, and Jinx Me is this lone standout, I think, in race number 11 on today's program. What do we have upstairs? Well, Wozniacki.
Doubles.
Wow. And then Smooch Up. Who is Smooch Up in race number 9?
That's a shipper.
Yeah.
Usually, so far, Woodbine TV Prod has been following your picks all week. But
yeah, well, so they're doing wonderfully.
did you give them a loser yesterday? Is that why they bailed? They're on to Smooch Up
Well,
now?
I mean, this horse is 3 for 4.
Yep.
3 for 4. Ships in from Presque Isle. You get Morales here to do the riding today for Ron Potts. We'll see.
Got a beautiful trip last time out and just held on to pull off the victory.
Obviously, a horse who really likes the synthetic surface too, because if you look at the race at Colonial, it's not even close to the races that this horse has had on the synthetic surface at Presque Isle. So that's an interesting one there. Clogger horses, we got 3 clogger horses for you this afternoon, and here we go. They'll start in race number 3. With Scary Speedy for Keith Edwards. Now, this horse worked October 4th and 48 and change from the gate. So they took this guy back to the gate, and this is one that they suggest at a good price too. The morning line on Scary Speedy is 12-1. Silent Ballerina, a lot of us, Jeff and myself and some various others, are excited to see what this firster has to offer. She's at 6-1 morning line. Just watch the tote board. I got a funny feeling she'll be at a very low price, because if we've noticed this, and obviously Ernie's noticed this, there's a lot of others that are going to be on to Silent Ballerina as she pirouettes, possibly.
Say this horse's name for us, Lisa.
Well, I'm going to say it's Baid Alina, but I really don't know. The other funny thing is, I've asked trainers on horses, like, hey, how do I say your horse's name? And they go, I don't know.
Yeah. Worked with 22 Souls.
Yeah.
That horse came back to finish last their day.
Not a good reference
that's
there.
horse I liked, but
yeah.
Still, we'll see.
We will see. Oh, who did Mr. Geller go to visit? I think he went over to Bugfill Hall. And he went to see Napa Spirit, who was in race number 2.
Napa looks
I love,
like-
oh my gosh, what an Arabian face.
Oh, look
wow.
I think Napa's a fan of Robert.
I think he's got carrots and mints in that pocket.
pocket,
Robert's learned
probably.
the trick, but look at the face on that one. Gorgeous. And here is, of course, Napa Spirit's groom as well. Lots of pride there, as you can see. Okay, that's it, buddy. 21
What
minutes.
does your...
Don't ask me for my football pick,
but
'cause
what does
I'm
your gut
out.
tell you about baseball tonight?
What about baseball?
Well, it's the first game. The,
Oh,
the
yeah, 8
Mariners
o'clock.
just played a 15-inning game. We've been off for 3 or 4 days. Do you
That's
think it's
true.
an advantage to be, you know...
I think, as we know with horses, right? Fresh legs have
Coming
the
off the
advantage
layoff.
coming off the layoff. I just hope I can stay up past the 5th inning.
No Bo Bichette, though, again. He's still hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt his knee.
He's got the best flow. The way he used to, he cut it off, though. But
And we can't stay up too late, buddy. Well, you can if you want to, but you're going to be tired on Monday
I know, we got 7
because
tomorrow,
we
yeah.
have 7 races on tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day program. We will start our show a little bit later so Jeff can sleep in because he'll be up till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning
Party
watching
animal.
the Jays game. But first race post time will be the same as usual. 105, 7 races in store for you tomorrow, and I think we're going to fly through them because a lot of people got places to go and people to see. Tomorrow night. Just 20 minutes to go before race number 1 on the program. There are 11 races in store. I know it's gray outside right now, but my app says at 3 o'clock, the sun will join us. We'll find out. 20 minutes.